My dear friends, gather close, lean in, because today is special. Today, I don't just bring you a story. No, I bring you a reckoning. A revelation, a twisting, gut-wrenching, heart-stopping truth that's been lurking in the shadows, slithering through the cracks of your so-called reality like a venomous serpent, coiled and waiting. See, you've been framed, you've been set up, duped, tricked, led like a blindfolded lamb straight into the slaughterhouse, all the while believing, oh how you believed, that the world was fair, that the rules were real, that if you just played nice, everything would turn out just fine. But what if I told you it was never about fairness? That your whole life, every loss, every failure, every moment you were stepped on, spit on, cast aside, wasn't an accident? What if I told you there were hands behind the curtain, pulling strings, orchestrating your downfall, laughing as you stumbled through their carefully crafted illusion? But today, the veil is torn. The insider has spoken, the truth has slipped through the cracks. And what do we find beneath the surface? Oh, you know what we find. Lies. Layers upon layers of them, stacked so high that if you ever dared to dig, dared to question, they called you crazy, paranoid, delusional. Oh, just work harder, they said. Oh, just be patient. They said, oh, life is just unfair sometimes. They said, lies. Lies to keep you docile, lies to keep you in line. But not anymore. No, today, the script is flipping. Because now, you know. You see the game. For what it is, the rules were never real. The system was never designed for you. It was a trap, a cage, a beautifully constructed maze where every path led to your failure by design. They framed you as lazy when they refused to open the doors. They framed you as weak when they drained the fight from your bones. They framed you as guilty before you even spoke a word. And now they panic. Now they scramble, because the greatest weapon against a system built on deception is truth. And now that truth has a voice, now it has a mind awake, a mind hungry, a mind that refuses to be silenced. So what now? What do you do when you realize the game was rigged? Of course, when you see the cracks in the mask, the trembling in their hands as they realize you're not buying the lie anymore. Oh, I'll tell you what you do. You tear it all down. You burn their labels, their scripts, their twisted little narratives. You take the chains they forged for you, and you twist them, mold them, make them your weapon. No more sitting back, no more waiting for some mythical justice that was never coming. No more playing their game by their rules. Because once you see through the illusion, you don't just walk away from it. No. You shatter it. You laugh in its face. You become the force they fear the most. A mind that thinks for itself. A soul that refuses to bow. And when they see you standing there unbroken, unchained, burning with the fire of every injustice, every lie, every moment they tried to break you, oh, they'll know. They'll know they should have never framed you, because now you're free. And there is nothing more terrifying than a man who knows exactly who he is. Now tell me, what are you going to do with this truth? I see it now. The gears turning, the fire rising. Oh, but you're still hesitating, aren't you? Still clinging to the remnants of the lie, to the scraps of the illusion they sold you like a cheap trick at a rigged carnival. Why? Because you're afraid. Because stepping out of their little play means stepping into war. Good fear means you're alive. Fear means you see it now. And the moment you see, really see, there's no going back, no slipping back into the comfortable ignorance they so desperately want you to sink into sea. That's the secret. They never wanted you to think. They never wanted you to question. They wanted you compliant. A well-behaved little cog, spinning in place, never daring to look beyond the machine. But now, oh now, the machine has a problem. Now the cog has teeth. You were framed as a failure, but what they never counted on was the moment you'd wake up. You were framed as a loser, but they never imagined you'd refuse to lose. You were framed as weak, but now they're afraid of you. And they should be, because once you see the system for what it is, you start to realize something terrifying for them. Not for you, no, for them. You start to realize that they're not gods. They're not all-powerful. They are not untouchable. They bleed. They fear. They know their time is running out because they built their empire on lies. And the thing about lies, they crumble at the first strike of truth. So strike, let them feel it. Let them see what happens when the man they buried refuses to stay dead. Because that's the real nightmare for them. Not your anger, not your revenge. No. Their greatest fear is that you rise, that you stand, that you laugh in their faces as you tear apart the illusion, brick by pathetic brick. And when they see you standing there unchained, unafraid, uncontrollable, they'll know they lost. So tell me, what happens next? Because you're at the edge now, right there, one step away from breaking free, one step away from shattering the lie. And once you take that step, oh, my friend, there's no cage in the world strong enough to hold you ever again. Bah, I can feel it now. The shift, the breaking point, the exact moment when a man stops being a prisoner and starts becoming something else, something they can't control, can't contain, can't silence. Because once you realize you were framed, once you see the scam for what it is, you don't just get angry. No. Anger is too small for this. You get hungry. Hungry for the truth they buried. Hungry for the power they stole. Hungry to turn every ounce of suffering, every moment of betrayal, every time they laughed at your pain, into fuel. And let me tell you something, my dear friend. Once a man becomes hungry, once he decides that he won't starve in the cage they built for him, oh, there is nothing in this world that can stop him. Because you see, the system was built to make you doubt yourself, to keep you second-guessing, to keep you looking in the mirror and seeing exactly what they want you to see. Something weak, something small, something easily discarded. But tell me, what happens when you look in that mirror and see something else? What happens when you reject their narrative? What happens when you decide, right here, right now, that you are done playing the fool in someone else's script? I'll tell you what happens. The whole game changes because suddenly the man they framed as a failure, he starts winning. The man they framed as weak, he starts fighting. The man they framed as broken, oh, he starts to rise and rise and rise. And you know what that does to the ones who thought they had you beaten? It terrifies them, because they built their world on the assumption that you would never wake up, that you would never fight back, that you would never dare to step outside the cage and realize you were never really trapped to begin with. Oh, but now you see the cracks in the walls. Now you see the chains for what they are, illusions. Now you see that the bars of your prison, they were never locked. And once a man realizes he was free all along, oh, there is no force in hell that can put him back in that cage. So tell me, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from tearing it all down? From stepping into the world as something new, something dangerous, something that no lie, no trick, no frame job can ever touch again. Because I'll let you in on a little secret, the only thing that ever really held you back. It wasn't them, it wasn't their lies, it wasn't their games. It was the part of you that believed them, and now that part, dead and gone. So go ahead, step forward, take what's yours. Watch the fear in their eyes as they realize, too late, far too late, that the man they tried to break is now the man they should have never crossed. And once you reach that point, once you know who you are, what you're capable of, oh, my friend, you never go back, never go back. Oh, no, going back isn't even an option anymore. Because once you see the game for what it is, once you taste the raw, undeniable truth, there's no way to unsee it, no way to pretend, no way to fit back into the tiny little box they built for you and just play along like a good little pawn. No. You're past that now. You've stepped into something bigger, something they never wanted you to touch, something called power. And that's the real crime, isn't it? Not that they framed you, not that they twisted the story, not that they stacked the deck against you. Oh no, their real crime was thinking you'd stay down, thinking you'd just accept the verdict and shuffle off into the night with your head hanging low. But you didn't, did you? You rose, you saw, you understood. And now you decide how this story ends. The only thing that ever really held you back, it wasn't them, it wasn't their lies, it wasn't their games. It was the part of you that believed them, and now that part, dead and gone. So go ahead, step forward, take what's yours. Watch the fear in their eyes as they realize, too late, far too late, that the man they tried to break is now the man they should have never crossed. And once you reach that point, once you know who you are, what you're capable of, oh, my friend, you never go back, never go back. Oh, no, going back isn't even an option anymore. Because once you see the game for what it is, once you taste the raw, undeniable truth, there's no way to unsee it, no way to pretend, no way to fit back into the tiny little box they built for you and just play along like a good little pawn. No. You're past that now. You've stepped into something bigger, something they never wanted you to touch, something called power. And that's the real crime, isn't it? Not that they framed you, not that they twisted the story, not that they stacked the deck against you. Oh no, their real crime was thinking you'd stay down, thinking you'd just accept the verdict and shuffle off into the night with your head hanging low. But you didn't, did you? You rose, you saw, you understood. And now you decide how this story ends.